Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Outside. Honestly, it's pretty cold. It's a little bit too cold. It's okay. 9:01, here we go. 39 degrees, downtown Alton. It's our daily show. And we got a good one. I'm going to be talking to Tyler in the overnight warming locations as the season starts to change and as, the weather starts to change, too. It's always great to get some insights from the overnight warming location and, really just hear more about what they're doing for the community and, when those locations will be open, volunteer opportunities. Plus, Tyler was also filling me in that they have an upcoming trivia night that's going to become an annual event. So really excited for that. Then 10:10, Lacy McDonald joins us. You guys love those weekly history articles she does, and she joins us once a week if you haven't tuned in yet, and she fills us in on her articles. Plus, we go a little bit more behind the scenes and just have a good old time. So that comes down the pipeline today as well. But man, at 9:02, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update, and you can join myself and those 70,000 plus that are in the know each and every day of the work week. We'll take you straight to O'Fallon first. A petition has been initiated calling for the reconsideration of the IHSA rule that resulted in the ban of O'Fallon student athlete Cole Hindia from his cross-country team. The ban followed Cole's participation in a 6K charity race to support his sister, which violated the IHSA regulations against competing in outside events. Cole's family, unaware of the rule's implications, describes the situation as unfair and devastating, particularly for Cole, who is autistic and has been focusing on his mental health. The petition advocates for fair treatment of student athletes and has gained significant support from the community. More on that story is available on RiverBender.com. Also in the news on this Wednesday morning, a 38-year-old Dow man, Andrew W. Huford, is now facing new charges after weapons and methamphetamine were discovered in his backpack. Here's what we know. On October the 4th, Huford was found with 5 knives and less than 5 grams of methamphetamine, despite his previous felony convictions. In addition to the charges of unlawful possession of weapon by a felon and unlawful possession of methamphetamine, he was also cited for several violations, including unlawful ATV use and leaving the scene of an accident. Huford has a history of theft and drug offenses, has been granted pretrial release with a court appearance scheduled for the 26th of November. Also, in the news today, in a rare decision, Godfrey Mayor Mike McCormick cast a tie-breaking vote on October the 15th yesterday concerning the selection of St. Louis firm PGAV as the village's consultant for its comprehensive plan. The Economic Development Committee initially recommended Moran Economic Development after presentations from both firms. However, decisions emerged among trustees, with some favoring PGAV for their impressive presentation and comprehensive service approach. The vote resulted in a 3-3 split, prompting Mayor McCormick to intervene. Ultimately, he voted against PGAV and voted for Moran Economic Development, maintaining the committee's recommendation. The project aims to enhance Godfrey's development strategies. We'll keep you updated as that more details from that plan start to emerge. Also, Senior Services Plus in Alton is set to host a free Wills and Power of Attorney legal clinic on the 14th of November from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. This event will feature attorneys from the Public Interest Laws Initiative 3rd Judicial Circuit Pro Bono Committee, who will assist veterans and seniors in preparing essential legal documents. While the clinic is free, participants must meet specific financial guidelines for eligibility. Due to limited space, registration is required. For more details to register, you can call 833-275-7454. That's 833-275-7454, extension 5, or you could visit the PILI website. Also, in the news today, Trimpe Middle School kicked off its inaugural baseball season with enthusiasm, featuring 26th, 7th, and 8th grade players from across two teams. Coach Jason Husman expressed pride in the program's development, emphasizing it's important for preparing athletes for high school baseball. And despite finishing the season with a 4-10 record, Husman praised the players for their growth and their learning experiences. Athletic Director Jeff Ott highlighted the strong support from school administration for establishing the program, aiming to enhance player skills ahead of competing at Civic Memorial High School. The excitement surrounding middle school baseball definitely signifies a promising future for the sport in Bethalto. Also in the news today, speaking of Civic Memorial, students from Brett Calker's radio class at CM recently enjoyed a hands-on learning experience at Lewis and Clark's radio and broadcast station. They participated in live on-air sessions, crafted station sweepers, and explored podcasting, all designed to deepen their understanding of production techniques. Calker expressed his gratitude to Michael Lemons and David Olenbittle, Riverbender's own, for their invaluable support. He emphasized the significance of such immersion opportunities in enriching the students' education and preparing them for future careers in media and communications. It is that time of the year, and Edwardsville Police are promoting safe driving this Halloween season. As Halloween is approaching closer and closer, Edwardsville Police are urging motorists to prioritize sober driving, buckling up, and adhering to traffic laws. With children out trick-or-treating, Lieutenant Brandon Whitaker emphasizes the importance of planning for a safe ride home, highlighting that alcohol and cannabis can impair driving abilities. The department reminds the community that DUIs apply to all substances, and everyone must wear their seatbelts. Police recommend designating a sober driver, using public transport, or utilizing Uber or other ride-sharing services. They encourage reporting impaired drivers and ensuring friends get home safely. The campaign is supported by federal highway traffic safety funds. Also, finally in the news today, during this year's Vintage Voices performances, it brought Alton Sportsman's Park history to life, and it highlighted the park's significance near Alton Glass and its operation until 1921. And Jim Lieber, portraying A.J. Doc Bashong, a dentist and catcher for the St. Louis Browns, recalled the game played in 1886 before the Browns' World Series win. And Sean B.T. Williams as Bill Gatewood celebrated the legacy of black baseball, recounting Gatewood's achievements as the first pitcher to throw a no-hitter in the Negro National League. And Vintage Voices, just from seeing social media, so widely celebrated this year, and we'll have more for you and more coverage on RiverBender.com for all that might have missed Vintage Voices and wants to see the sights and sounds of it. At 9:09, that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Let's take a look at your weather, shall we? It is 40 degrees out there, and man, it is nice. It feels like 41, but humidity is at 75%. How about that? Today, warmer with plenty of sunshine and a warm up on the way. Tonight, clear and cold, freezing temperatures in the normally colder spots in the evening. There can be frost in the colder spots later on, and then when you wake up, we had some frost on the ground today. Hey, air quality today at 51. That's cool. Brian just let me know Blake plays for Bethalto Baseball. That's awesome. Tonight, air quality, is at 51, which is moderate. Grass is low, mold is low, ragweed is low, tree levels are low, and the UV index is moderate today. But how about this? 61 degrees will be the high temperature today. It will drop down to 34 overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, a high of 67 degrees, a low of 38 degrees. And on Friday, a high of 70, a low of 41. On Saturday, that'll be a fun day. High of 75, a low of 44, and on Sunday, a high of 76, a low of 46 degrees. That's a look at the next 5 days, but just wait till you look at Alton today, man. It's beautiful out there. How about this? And, man, I got some good sleep last night. You know, the dog was behaving. Life is looking good for CJ. And, you know, life's always looking good when you lock in your savings at a high rate with First Mid-America Credit Union. I mean, these rates are so good, it's spooky. 4.5% APY, a 7th-month certificate available at First Mid-America Credit Union, one of our big supporters of RiverBender.com. All you have to do is go to firstmidamerica.org. That's firstmidamerica.org. They're my bank. They're, been great for me, and I know that they've been great for so many, and I love their community involvement. Really appreciate the fact that every time you pick your head up and you go out to any type of community event that has vendors, there is a First Mid-America Credit Union booth ready to be a part of all the fun, too. You can go to firstmidamerica.org/accounts/resources and /savings, or just get a shortcut by clicking on the RiverBender.com wallpaper, and you can see those savings rates from that 7-month special, the 13-month special. It goes on and on and on. Or just open up a checking account today by going to firstmidamerica.org. That's firstmidamerica.org, and don't you forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. All right. Before we take a quick break, I'm excited. I decided that we are going to dive into Halloween season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and we're going to do it all the way from now on. And get ready, because the next 15 days, it's all Halloween mode. So let's take a look at downtown Alton. We'll come back with more of our daily show right after this on RiverBender.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Hello, welcome back to our daily show on RiverBender.com. And now, time to play a game.
The one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me. One-eyed? Well, he came down to earth and he lit in a tree. I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me. I heard him say in a voice so gruff,
I wouldn't eat you 'cause you're so tough.
it was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
Sorry. Welcome back. Daily Show hitting you on Wednesday. Tyler, good morning, man. How are you? Good morning. So, with the seasons changing and today kind of a fitting reminder of it, with it being a little bit more chilly, the temperature's going to start to change a little bit, and good to recognize overnight warming locations and also some ways that maybe we can get involved if we can help out and support.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting a little cold. I think it got down to 33 last night. I was sitting in my house and looked at the thermostat last night. I think it was about 68 and a little bit chilly. And, we got the privilege of kicking on the thermostat and turning on the heat. And it just makes you be mindful of our friends out there. Even when it's, 33 degrees outside, it's still really cold. So we're just trying to continue to support our unhoused neighbors in our community. And, we're definitely gearing up for our 6th season activating here in Alton and Edwardsville as well. We'll be activating again this year. So that activation period starts November 1st. So we're trying to get underway, just get everything logistically sound and get the operations going. And, we got some upcoming events. So hopefully I can share some of that today with you on how people can get involved to help what we're trying to do.
We'll definitely get into that. And right off the bat, too, how do you guys prepare, during the quote-unquote off-season? Because I know even whenever it's in the middle of summer and it's, 110 degrees, you all are still trying to be active and sharing locations or trying to provide a service. But whenever you're in the non-peak time, what do you guys do to kind of get prepared for that next cold season?
Yeah, good question. We just try to go through our facilities, see what kind of upgrades we can improve upon. Each year we try to improve our facility, whether that's redoing a bathroom floor, which we recently had done, just seeing if we need new cots, what kind of supplies we're running low on. And this summer and this off season, we've really been focusing on development. So we have a development coordinator now. So just trying to do a better job of fundraising and having opportunities for the community to get involved, and also trying to build upon community homeless outreach teams so we can support our neighbors year round, not just through November through the end of March.
Absolutely. And I just saw too on your Facebook, Randy Meeks, who I know, was just over there with and cleaning up the bathroom. Man, that looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. I just reached out to Randy and Trevor, which are great guys. If you need a remodel at your house, they
do good work.
They do great work. They're young guys, but they take their time. They do the things right. So I just reached out to Randy and Trevor to see if they can give me a bid. Maybe if they had the capability of doing an in-kind donation or a discounted rate, that'd be great. But we were prepared to pay them for their services because they do good work. And they came in and they said, hey, this is a small job. We really needed a bathroom floor. The tiles were shifting all over the place, and that's where a lot of our volunteers use the bathroom when we activate. So they came in, they're like, yeah, this is a small job. We'll donate the labor and the materials. So
that's all. I didn't even realize
totally
that.
Wasn't expecting that. So it's just, building those partnerships with different contractors, different people in the communities. Everybody's got some kind of skill, that they can bring to the table and help us. So we're just, very grateful for people like them coming in and, donating their time and the materials.
Well, and that's a good point, and it leads us into the kind of the meat of this, because not everybody has, the hours to maybe spend at the locations, when they're activated because of kids or, what happens. But there's also a time to support financially if we can, and or with items that we can, donate, and also our services. But coming up, your first annual trivia night. So this is what you're going to do as your recurring event for the next couple of years, huh?
That's our hope. So, our first annual trivia night is coming up. I brought my cheat sheet here so I don't get the dates and the times wrong, but we've been doing a really good job with getting sponsorships. I think we've already exceeded our initial goal of getting sponsorships. So if you don't have the time to come and have a table of 8, you can be a platinum, gold, silver, or bronze sponsor. But we have plenty of tables still available. We're still kind of lacking there. I think we're around like maybe 10 or 12, and I think our initial goal was to get around 20 tables. So those tables will be tables of 8. For one table, it's $200, so essentially $25 a person. And it's just gonna be a real fun event. It's gonna be good for anybody that has the time, and it's just a good way to support the overnight warming location. And it's gonna be fun too. I mean, trivia nights are fun.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to it. Now, I'm not the best at trivia, but
That's okay.
I feel like I'm part of the entertainment.
I'm there for the snacks.
I'm there just to keep everybody occupied. I just feel like I bring that to the team. And now with this, how much are tables again? Did I miss that?
The tables are $200.
Oh, that's not bad for a table of 5.
Yes. That'll be November 2nd, so it's coming up here in a few weeks, I think. Doors will open at 6 p.m., and the game will start at 7 p.m. But, people can bring whatever snack that they want. I mean, me and my wife, that's why we're there. We're there for the fellowship, and we're there to eat good food. So people are allowed to bring in their own drink of choice if it's not alcoholic. But if they do want an alcoholic beverage, we'll have that able for them to purchase there, and we'll have free refreshments like soda, popcorn, and stuff like that for people that need an extra salty snack.
Well, and too, now, am I reading this right? You said LeMay's is going to be there?
Yes, we're going to be hosting it at LeMay's Catering.
Okay,
a lot of people
down at LeMay's.
Yeah,
okay.
A lot of people remember that as the former Riverbend Billiards and Grill down there on Broadway. So,
had a couple of fun nights down there when it was the billiard.
Oh yeah, I used to skip a lot of high school classes and go down there and play pool because if you ordered a lunch, you can get free pool. So
no way.
Back in the day when Alton High had an open campus, I'd spend 3 hours down there during lunchtime playing pool. But that's 909 East Broadway at LeMay's Catering.
I bet that made the Rock Spring run a little bit tougher.
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah.
Okay. A table of 8 though for $200 is what I think's great about this.
Yep.
I mean, that's really affordable for people, especially right now, because sometimes those trivia nights do get a little expensive. This one's great.
Yeah,
really
I think so.
Cool.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's just a good way to sit and get to talk to some other people and get some friends together and maybe get a babysitter and have a night out away from the kids. So
right. Well, especially before the holidays start. I mean, because it's going to hit us right in the face right after Halloween. I mean, November 2nd is going to be here, and then it's going to be Thanksgiving. So you might as well get the pre-holiday fun out of the way and just enjoy a little bit. Now, you can reserve your table you can go to the Facebook event page, and they have a link where it just takes you right to it. You can also donate if you can't be a part of it, or you would like to sponsor the event just to add a little bit more spice to it. And that's what I think is really great too. Now, with these donations, what do you guys have a goal for this? What can you do with an X amount of dollars? Let's say you raise $10,000. What does that $10,000 do?
Yeah, good question. Well, we're always looking to make facility upgrades, but also we're fortunate this year we finally hired our first paid staff. So
really?
we have a part-time OWL director, Lindsay Apple, who is the lead pastor at New Song Fellowship in Edwardsville, and she was kind of like the city lead for Edwardsville last year. So we want to keep that sustainable. Yeah. This work's been done by great volunteer work over the past 6 years here in Alton and now in Edwardsville. So we want to pay someone to do this work. It makes it more sustainable for us to go after grant writing, someone just to kind of keep everything together. So hopefully we're hoping to offer that as a full-time position for Lindsay or whoever else might be interested. So yeah, there's.
Well, you need that. I mean, honestly, because you can't keep growing you can't grow as quickly with volunteers sometimes. You got to have somebody be able to be focused on this all the time and really have this as their bread and butter, so they can always be driven towards the O.W.L, you know, and not get pulled away at certain points.
Right. It's hard to do this. I'm just amazed that we've been able to do this the past 5 years without a director in place, and it's just a lot of work. Most people that are volunteers are still working, so they've got different things pulling at them. They have families, so just to be able to have a designated person just to kind of keep things in line and do a lot of the admin work, a lot of the tedious stuff is going to be very helpful for us. There's still hope. We've been reached out by a couple communities in Madison County that are interested in opening their own O.W.Ls. So we're continuing to pray on that, see where they might need our support and come alongside them. So, you know, we have Edwardsville and Alton now, but let's say we had Collinsville and Granite City. You know, that requires a lot more supplies that we need. So that's where that fundraising really comes in handy.
Are you guys an official nonprofit, a 501c3?
Yes.
See, and that's a great thing to point out because we're in that point of the year where people are looking at those last, you know, before you're getting all your taxes calculated and all that, because by the time January hits, it's over. So I mean, you get your donations in that are tax deductible too, and use that as a little bit of an incentive if you got a little bit more to go. You know, because we all know where we need to be at this point in the year normally.
Right.
So that's another great thing. And then also, I was asking you that because I think it's really a great thing, Tyler, to have an organization that's truly driven for a service. I mean, this isn't a, you know, because you know how some of those are where it's a specific service, but year-round they're fundraising for different causes and not really focused on that one thing. And that's what you guys are focused on. And to have other communities saying, we need this and we know you all can do a good job with this and we don't need to, you know, take the idea and make it our own. We just need to work with you. That's really cool. That's hard to do.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been really healing for volunteers and for some of the people that we serve in our community. I think there's sometimes fear that, okay, how come Alton has to do everything? How come Alton, you know, is the only community doing something? Well, now we can say, well, Edwardsville's doing something or Collinsville's doing something, and it's just good to build upon those relationships and have collaboration. Edwardsville brings a new, fresh set of eyes and perspective and have great new ideas. So now if we get every community to kind of hold their part, then we don't have those people saying, well, Alton's the only community doing anything, because it's not just an Alton problem. It's Madison County and, you know,
it's a region problem. I mean, really. And the thing is, you know, just following up on that point too, I mean, towns are different. You know, Alton people are different than Edwardsville people. Collinsville folks, you know, live differently than Alton people. They're not a bad thing. It's just, you know, who we are as people. And unhoused still have that tendency. So if you're, you know, they were unhoused in Collinsville and they have a different way of life, it's probably, challenging if they know the location's here to get down here to get warm. And then they're kind of in a different atmosphere. So to be able to support them in their own communities, man, that's a great thing to do too.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah, we don't want to, I mean, sometimes people are like, well, why do we need an overnight warming location in our community? We can just ship them to Edwardsville and Alton. That's not really a kind way to treat your neighbors. Let's just outsource these people. Let's get them on a bus.
They're humans.
Let's take them to Alton. Then that becomes a drag on resources in a specific town like Alton. So let's all work together. We have a model that's worked. I mean, we're an emergency shelter. We're a Band-Aid service. You know, there's bigger issues with housing, and ultimately we're working at different ways to provide better opportunities for people. I mean, we could provide them all the services that they want, and what good is it if you don't have a roof over your head?
Right.
So we're still working on that.
It's a great point, though, and that's why it's really good that this is happening. I mean, I'm really impressed and really excited to see where it takes off to him. We'll take a quick break at 9:28. We'll come back with a little bit of change and more conversations on this Wednesday morning after this one.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. Which is good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Happy Halloween from RiverBender.com. Now, back to our daily show.
9:31. Welcome back. Tyler with the overnight warming locations as we are a couple of weeks away from the activation season.
November 1st, if temperatures get to 20 degrees or lower, we'll start activating. So we use AccuWeather just to be consistent on the forecast that we're looking at.
I also like to use RiverBender.com's weather page too. That makes me feel good. Hey, coming down the pipeline, before we talk about different roles that you could play and fill in the overnight warming location, there's some volunteer training sessions that you should attend. And does everyone that wants to volunteer, are these mandatory training sessions, Tyler?
Yes, we were required of new volunteers and returning volunteers because sometimes policy and procedures training, it's just good to get a refresher of like how we started, some things that we've changed. So, if you're listening and you're a returning volunteer, we send out an email and get on the Facebook page. There's a new application link, so let's send that out. We're gonna have a new system to notify when we activate this year, so we need you to plug in some new updated information like who's your cell phone provider, and that way you can get the proper notifications. So we're in Alton. We have a couple trainings coming up. Our first one in Alton is next week. If you're interested in volunteering, it'll be October 24th. I believe that's a Thursday.
Yep.
It'll be from 6 to 8. And if you're not, if you're still not ready to volunteer on site, you can come early at 5:15. We're going to kind of do a setup, get our cot set back up, our space set up, so our volunteers can see what our layout looks like. We also will have our second volunteer training, if you can't make next week's, on November 9th. That'll be during the morning time from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And Edwardsville will also have 2
That's on
trainings.
Saturday, so that's okay.
Yeah. Edwardsville also has November 2nd and November 7th. So November 2nd in Edwardsville will be from 9 to 11 a.m. And that will be at their location. I don't think I got their address written
First
down.
Baptist Church at 534 St. Louis Street in Edwardsville.
Thank you.
And those are both days. Saturday, November the 2nd from 9 to 11, but Thursday, November the 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. at First Baptist Church, again at 534 St. Louis Street in Edwardsville. Now, do you have to go to the specific area that you want to service?
You don't.
Okay.
So, let's say you're an Edwardsville volunteer and those 2 dates in Edwardsville don't work out, you're definitely welcome to come to Edwardsville or Alton. It would be good if you're at your own site, especially if you're a new volunteer, just to see the lay of the land. Typically, I'll do a walkthrough of new volunteers and say, this is where you can find stuff. This is where people sleep. This is our kitchen. Just kind of show them around our facility.
Mm-hmm. Really cool. And then there is a final opportunity in Alton on Saturday, November the 9th from 9 to 11 a.m. at Deliverance Temple. Again, that's 1125 East 6th Street in Alton. There is also, and we're going to walk through the application and the form that you can fill out, but there's a box that says, I'm unavailable for these dates. Does that mean someone's going to contact them and see if there's another, way that you can maybe work with them to get them, trained, or does that just mean probably not?
Yeah, we're really flexible. Let's say like we're just really needing more volunteers. Like last year, we were seeing an influx of the guests.
Well, you had hit hard with the cold weather. That was brutal, man.
It was cold. I mean, we didn't activate, I think, only maybe 12 times, which is, I think in years past, we average around 20 activations
Are you serious?
per year. So it was a little milder.
I got to quit whining.
But it just comes in waves. But the number of guests, I think in Alton, we served 45 people in one night.
Oh.
So in Edwardsville and Alton combined, we served 148 unique guests. So the problem's not getting any better. We're seeing more and more people with, just trying to survive the cold.
So how many unique guests did you say?
148 last year.
148. And, in those 12 times, are they, do those, out of those 148, are they going all the time, or are they finding out later in the season?
Typically, when we activate for the first time, we might see lower numbers.
Okay.
I think last year, just off the top of my head, we maybe only had 14 guests
In the first night.
But then people, people that are unhoused, they have their own community. They get the word out to their friends that they see on the street, and word begins to spread. And as it gets colder and colder, maybe that first activation is not quite so frigid, but as you get into January and February, it gets really cold, and it's not just unhoused people; it's people that can't afford keep their heat on, so they're coming in as an emergency service. So.
And that's another good point too, because I think that sometimes there's a different tone about this overnight warming location, and that's a huge point. There's so many times, and I know of in my family, and Tyler, I'm sure you have friends and family that, in the coldest day of the damn year, that furnace goes off and grandma or whoever can't get it serviced, and maybe the family's at it. There's always that weird one-off circumstance, and if that one person knows that, hey, it doesn't matter if you're in a frigid condition and your furnace is out and you can't get it fixed till Monday, go get warm tonight, you know? I think that's something too. That's a really good point, because there's so many older people, and like you see it in the news, where they freeze to death in their homes, or they have heat strokes in their house during the summer because of that same problem.
Yeah, some people might get their utilities kicked off in the wintertime, and I know this was a pivotal thing that happened in Alton leading up to 2019. I think there was two young kids that were heating their house with their stove. The utilities were turned off, and they died from carbon monoxide poisoning. So, God forbid something happens in our community, such as a major power outage. How are we equipped to handle that? Well, fortunately, everybody, might need this need someday. So the overnight warming location in Alton and Edwardsville were already equipped to run as an emergency shelter. So if there's a massive power outage, this can benefit the whole community. I don't know if the city's got anything in place. If, God forbid there was a horrible snowstorm and, we lose power citywide. What are we going to do? How are we going to respond?
Well, and maybe a lot of people probably don't remember this, but that ice storm in 2006, you remember that was 3 weeks we had 2 weeks that people had no power and stuff? It could happen again, and you just never know. But also, I love the fact that you're really vetting the folks that are volunteering too, and making sure that those unhoused are safe, because that's a really important thing. And now a part of this is the CPR training, which is required for shift leaders, and there's a ton of CPR classes around if somebody really did want to take on that role and and it's a good thing to have regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we require that in the mental health first aid training of our shift leaders, but we're going to offer that to any volunteer that wants it. We were talking off air about how more and more kids in high school are being trained on mental health first aid. These are skills that our volunteers don't have to pay for. Anybody can benefit from us. Like our shift leaders, sometimes we're going to be in certain scenarios where a guest comes in and they're just in psychosis, or they're really upset. So having that mental health first aid training, trying to figure out how to redirect, how to diffuse a tense situation is very helpful. In CPR training, I wish every kid in high school that was a requirement to graduate. So you get these free training, CPR trainings, and it's literally life-saving. And also part of the general training that we're going to be doing next week is also Narcan training. So we're seeing a good turnaround with the opioid epidemic of the deaths going down. That's, I think, one part as a result of Narcan being accessible by
I didn't see that. So that's good.
Yeah,
well, that's promising.
Layers to that, but just having people readily have Narcan is literally life-saving. We can give that to people. We can call 911 and we can get them services.
And now, question for you: do you do service nights? Like if an organization or a church group says, "Hey, we have about 12 people. We do this once a month, but we'd love to donate one night whenever you all activated to be there. Do you guys do that?
Yeah, there's always like different groups, whether that's a church or a different organization that are maybe want to do a clothes drive or something like that. So my advice would just get on our Facebook page, send a message saying, hey, we want to help in some way. We want to coordinate a meal, or we want to coordinate a clothes drive, and then we'll get you in contact with the person that kind of runs our storeroom. These are the things that we do like to keep. These are the things that we do not want, because sometimes people will just drop off a bunch of stuff. It's all goodwill. But there's certain things that we do not want. We're not a clothes closet. We're not a food kitchen, but we are like trying to equip people when they have to leave in the morning. Here's some supplies that are going to help you survive the day.
That's a good point.
So we're just, and same thing in years past, like we've had people just show up with food. Like we love the heart of people, but we have like 3 different food coordinators. So please reach out through the Facebook page saying, hey, we want to bring in some frozen meals, and then we'll put you in contact with our meal coordinators.
Right.
And we're always trying to build upon that with restaurants and different groups, because that cuts down on cost if we can get a restaurant to prep a meal ahead of time, because sometimes we don't always know when we're going to activate, but sometimes we see the forecast, we know we're going to activate for 2 straight weeks.
Right.
That's when we really need help.
Right.
So, but don't just come and drop off a bunch of food because it just gets complicated. Just reach out to us and we'll make sure that food goes to use.
And hell, I'll be honest, I mean, breaking the fourth wall a little bit. There was a time whenever, my mom had a bunch of these T-shirts. She goes, someone can use these for just rags. And I go, that's not a bad idea. I go, well, at least see if Tyler needs them just for, things like, someone spills something on the bathroom floor, you don't have to use a nice towel. So I texted like I thought, let's reach out first before I dump off a bunch of stuff on his door. And I think that's always the way, because, people are kind-hearted and that's wonderful, but when you aren't coordinated, it doesn't do as good of a purpose as you think it would.
Yeah, it can be a little chaotic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times where churches or different organizations have brought in like 30 bags of clothes, and we're like, oh man, so now we have to find the manpower to sort it all. A lot of it's like T-shirts and worn down clothes. So like we're really specific on what we want, like sleeping bags or tents or boots or thermals, things that are going to help people survive the frigid cold. So of course we're not going to take like shorts or T-shirts, stuff like that. But we can direct you if people have a bunch of stuff. We'll be like, okay, well, we do have a clothes closet here or here, so maybe take this leftover stuff to them. So we want it to be put to good use. But
are these thermal blankets any good?
Yeah, those are very good.
Okay, because I had someone. So if somebody wanted to donate those, could they reach out to? Okay,
bring all those you want.
These are good. Yeah. I was serious. I'm not being funny. I've had this in my drawer for a year now, and because I've offered it, but everyone has one that I've talked or gone outside to when it's cold.
Yeah, there's certain things we'll never turn away. So I think the best way to just stay informed, like if we're running low on stuff, like let's say we just need someone to bring in some bottled water, just keep an eye on the Facebook post. I think it would be good to maybe have a link of here's needed items that we need, but you can visit our Amazon wish list.
Oh yeah,
and fulfill those orders. And once we're fulfilled, we're good. We'll say we don't need any more. So just keep an eye on that too. You can get that on our Facebook page, I do believe, and you can just see as we get activating more, we start running low on supplies. Now, that's when we put a call out to the community, and the community always responds.
And we'll link everything, like the Amazon wish list, and we'll link the registration forms and all of that for volunteering on a RiverBender.com article. And wanted to go into the roles that are needed for the overnight warming location, because there are some requirements for some with age and restrictions, and I saw on the website. So where do you want to start with some of the roles and positions within the facility?
Yeah, so I think just walking through the process, a lot of the frequently asked questions is like, how often am I going to be on site? So if you're an on-site volunteer, we have 3 teams. So let's say November 15th is our first activation. Well, Team 1 will activate. So you'll be notified that day, no later than 12 p.m. And basically that Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, it's broken down into manageable shifts. So like if you have the availability to come in from 4:30 to 8 to do hospitality, guests are coming in, we're getting them comfortable, we're getting them something to eat, hooking them up with showers or supplies they might need. You like talking with people, that might be a shift for you. But then you have a second hospitality shift. I think it's from 8 to 11. I don't know if you still have those in front of you.
Yep.
So it's just finding out what fits. Then we have overnight monitors. So those are broken down into the 3 shifts. Let's say you got a job, a 9-to-5 job, or you got stuff going on in the evening, but you're a night owl. You'd like to get up in the middle of the night. So there's
You know what I'm thinking? For retired overnight nurses. My
Yes.
grandma couldn't go to bed at night to save her life
Yep.
and still can't. And that's after 15 years, or at least 12 years of being retired. You
Yep.
know, this is a great spot for those type of folks.
Absolutely. So you just look at your schedule. Now, some people just might not be able to volunteer on site, but there's other ways. I mean, we can get to some of those roles. But then, you know, if you're a morning person, you don't start working until 10 a.m. that day, you can do 7 a.m. To 9 a.m. hospitality. So you're waking people up in the morning, you're getting them breakfast served, distributing bus tokens so they can get back if we're going to activate that night. So November 15th is the first day we activate Team 1's up. So if you're on Team 3, you're not up. So then the next time, let's say it's in 2 weeks, we activate Team 2 is up. So we rotate those 3 teams. So it's just more manageable. I think the first couple of years, those shift leaders, they were shift leaders all night from 5 p.m. to 9 or 8 a.m. So that was a long shift. So that's why we need a lot of volunteers. I think between the 2 locations last year, we had a total of 226 volunteers.
Oh, wow. That's good,
So
man.
the more people we have, it just you can distribute it a little bit better. People aren't overwhelmed. And sometimes let's say you have a shift and you just have a prior commitment. That's when you could be a sub if you go through the training. Like, you know, maybe you're not on a specific Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, but so-and-so can't show up for their shift. Then all the subs will be notified through an application that we're going to use this year. Like, hey, if anybody has a availability to pick up this shift, feel free to pick it up. So,
Well, and I also saw, too, and that on the website, and like I said, we'll go through it here in a second, guys. Laundry, facility, support, errands, development team, even the communication director role, food. Those are different options too that you can that you could fulfill. Correct?
Correct. Yeah, we last year in Alton we had 3 different meal coordinators. So like you're organizing with different restaurants, different meal partners, and helping get that distributed and served. So you're not necessarily on site.
Are the restaurants around here pretty good? Not to
Yeah,
cut you off?
they're great. We got a list of restaurants right now we want to reach back out to, and some new restaurants. I mean, it's hard for restaurants sometimes if it's like short notice. Like we find out this day, hey, we need a meal. So we try to plan ahead. If like a restaurant can like prepare a meal that can be frozen, that just makes it more manageable. Some restaurants just have better capability. They can throw something together really quick. So church organizations, just anybody, it could just be a husband and wife. If they just want to prepare a meal, just reach out to the Facebook page and we'll get you connected with the meal coordinator.
You know, that gave me a great idea. John, I know you're watching up there. How about this? The most supportive business or organization tournament. Because you just brought up a good point. Like, no one ever talks about it because they don't put it on their Facebook page of, providing services or all that, or just being there to, for sponsoring a Little League team or what. How great would it be just to kind of do a goodwill tournament? Not like who has the best food or, who has the most likes on Facebook, but like honestly, like who does the most for the community?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm going to make you the coordinator of that. And,
yeah, totally.
let you drive that.
This is going to be ours. But it was powered by Tyler and his powerful mind over there because I'm not thinking today. So I like this. Okay, but overnight monitor, I wanted to talk about this because I had a couple questions. There's 3 shifts in that overnight, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So you aren't there from 11 to 8 overnight if you don't want to be.
Right.
So it's like 1 3-hour shift overnight.
It's a 3-hour shift.
Okay,
yes.
that's what I was trying to make sure of. And some of these folks, I know that you have high schoolers that need honor society points. Mm-hmm. This says 18 and over, and probably the way it needs to be.
Yeah, I think there's some wiggle room there. Like if we want kids to be involved, we want them to help serve with their family. So I think there's ways that people can bring in their families. I just encourage them to reach out to the overnight warming locations Facebook page and just kind of explain your situation. Maybe you want to come in during a mealtime at dinner, and as long as there's proper supervision, okay, here's a safe designated space that you're going to stay. We're going to stay away from like the sleeping quarters and stuff like that. So we don't want to put up any barriers for anybody to volunteer. So if you do have a kid, they need to get some service hours, feel free to reach out and we can just kind of walk through that process and find a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then if you all wanted to be a part of the overnight warming locations, here's the Facebook page. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. You scroll down, you can click on donate if you would like to donate to the overnight warming location, Adopt a Now program. And it takes you through some of the donation options here. Or you can enter a custom amount. Remember, it's a 501c3 non-for-profit. Or let's just go back and click on serve, and that'll take you to the application, as it makes sure I'm a human, that we just went through. So that's where you can click, you'll put all your contact information in that top box, and then as you keep scrolling down, you'll fill out the form. You can see some of the roles that you could fulfill, and then you keep scrolling, you can add more. Make sure you click on news media, and then we're good to go. So we're good there, and then you can see the Amazon registries right here, and you can click on those, and you can shop. But getting back to just the trivia night, we have a couple of minutes left. This is how you can support this day 2 of the activation period, November the 2nd. And this is from 7 p.m. probably to about, 11? Is that how long trivia nights are?
7. I think around 10.
Okay.
I think it'll be around.
That's good.
Around 3 hours. Trivia nights I think are usually better. People lose interest. Keep it around 2 to 3 hours.
4 is when those are monsters. We're
not going to drag it out. We got Dave Whaley, who's donating to be our MC. And
He's good. He's always good.
He keeps it moving, yeah.
I was really nervous. I had to do the Riverbend CEO trivia night. Was it last year or the year? Anyway, I had to do it. And Dave was in the audience, and I'm like, you got the damn trivia expert right here in front of me, and here I am, reading a cue card and choking, Yeah. Not good. But this is where you can join the inaugural trivia night. It's becoming an annual event where this can go towards the supplies and just helping staff, really, the overnight warming locations that are not just helping Alton and Edwardsville anymore, now popping up, we just heard, in the Metro East. Great ways to kind of help a growing nonprofit organization. Tables of 8 for $200. Trivia participants can bring their own food. Is there anything that, like table decorations or any food or anything like that that we should know not to bring?
No, bring whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
If you want to bring a pizza, if you want to bring a pot roast, I don't care what you bring. Just realize that the tables aren't that huge. I mean, they'll fit 8 people, but
you can't bring whatever you want. You can't bring a roasted hog out there.
You can. Bring
okay. There you go. And then non-alcoholic beverages and popcorn will be provided at the event, but alcoholic drinks will be available for purchase at the bar area of LeMay's. And then LeMay's Catering's really been great for you guys. It seems like there's a good relationship there from what I've seen.
Jason's been a friend for a long time. His family owns Deliverance Temple Church and run that church, so they've just been great partners over the years, and we're just trying to be good partners with them. And if we have a way to improve upon their facility, it's just great for them. It's great for us. It's great for the people that we serve. So Jason and the Harrison family have been just great for the overnight warming locations and the people in the community in general.
Cool. Tyler, thanks for stopping by. And if we're going to link everything with this event for the Trivia Night benefiting the overnight warming locations, tickets are available, and we'll link all of that as well. But in the meantime, stop by the website, donate if you can, and just learn more about how you can be involved. And really just great, Tyler, that you guys are growing and doing some cool stuff. Taking a quick break, coming back with more Daily Show right after this one in the heart of the 618.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Rescue.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Welcome back to our daily show on RiverBender.com.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
RiverBender.com. Now back to our daily show.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry.
Welcome back, Daily Show hitting you on a Wednesday. And wanted to fill you. This was kind of cool. So we're doing a poll now. This week's poll on RiverBender.com is, what's your favorite scary movie? And, you know, I'm kind of disappointed that The Exorcist is, like, leading the cause right now. More people need to vote, number one, so we can have... You know, what I thought was wild, for us being a hyper-local platform, now that I'm actually being able to think for the first time in a few weeks, the fact that our most participated poll was the damn national debate was just like eye-opening. I'm like, whoa, we are a regional news source, a hyper-regional news source, and our highest participated poll was the national. It was amazing. I thought no one would care. I was wrong. I've been wrong a lot this year. This has been the year of being wrong. Sydney's was the year of yes. Mine was the year of you're wrong. Anyway, this week's poll: what's your favorite scary movie? Cast your vote now. How does Halloween only have 1 vote? That is my all-time favorite scary movie series. And then Saw has 1 vote. The Shining has, so that's good. Scream is fine if you don't watch Scary Movie first. The Poltergeist has 0. And the Nightmare on Elm Street has 0. I actually think they're more funny than scary. The Conjuring has 0 votes. Man, tough crowd. The Ring, you know, you can't watch Scary Movie first if you want to watch The Ring. Anyway, hey, while I have you, a couple of minutes left in the top of the hour, but a breaking news weather alert for you. A freeze warning has just officially been issued for Madison County starting tomorrow morning at midnight. So starting midnight on the 17th, it will run until 7 a.m. on Thursday. But just to let you know, put some more bags over your plants or whatever you got to do. I didn't know what to do. I had some emails, you know, from you all that were giving me suggestions, which I do appreciate. But, you know, I feel like mine didn't need it because they've been in the ground all year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. They seem fine today. And like my hibiscus, And that son of a gun, I'd need a 15-gallon hefty bag to put over it. And I don't think that's healthy, and I don't have a 15-gallon hefty bag, Anyway, let me keep rattling on here. Wanted to fill you on this really cool thing. And you know what? Why don't we do this? Hold on, Gerard. Why don't we do this? So, Vintage Voices was just last couple of weeks, and always a great thing for our community to really see the sights and sounds of our past, come to life. And why don't we do this now? We'll go picture in picture here, and we'll play you some of the sights and sounds of Vintage Voices. At 9:59, as we're coming up to top of the hour here in downtown Alton, it's 48 degrees. You're watching our daily show with me, CJ Nasello, on RiverBender.com and on Roku TV. It's simulcast on social media. And I never really check out social media, so let me know how we're doing and keep sharing it. So Mark Zuckerberg just has to let this show stream. You know what I'm saying? 9:59, but Vintage Voices is a staple event, and always great to have Lacy McDonald on, who will join us at 10:10. We'll probably get her to join us as this video is wrapping up. But Charles Thomas, one of our video producers, was on the scene for the 2024 performance at the Alton Cemetery. And we'll take you there now as we officially hit 10 o'clock in downtown Alton.
Archibald Daniels at your service. Today we are here to tell you about one of Alton's long forgotten treasures, its involvement in baseball. Me, I'm a businessman. I worked at the Cracker Factory for years, and then I eventually ended up owning my very own bakery across the street where the Moondrop now occupies. And eventually I retired as a longtime manager of the Madison Hotel, which once stood where Jitlin's restaurant sits. But through it all, I always had a love of baseball, especially being involved in its local scene. Now, as a young boy, I grew up in a small town in upstate New York near Lake Ontario. During the war between the states, I worked as a paymaster. After the war was over, I moved here to Alton, and not long after, I met Julia, and we married in '68. We were members of the local church where I was known for singing bass. Now, sadly, I died just a few months short of our 50th wedding anniversary, and of course, me and Julia are buried right here. But that's enough about me right now. I want to introduce you to some players that played here in Alton from time to time. First, on my left, I'd like to introduce Mr. Bouchon.
A.J. Bouchon, or Doc Bouchon, dentist. I was considered one of the finest catchers of the 19th century. Wow, it's great to be back in Alton on such a beautiful day. When I heard Archibald Daniels was pontificating on the subject of baseball, well, I invited myself to join. You see, I am enthralled with baseball. It's such a wonderful game to play, and as probably many of you have experienced, it's a wonderful game to watch as a spectator. You watch a few games, you become fans, you start to bond with the players. That is, the players that have talent or character.
Thanks, Doc. Now I'd like to introduce, on my right, the famous Mr. Gatewood.
Proclaimed a tremendous pitcher in the early years of black baseball. My career spanned more than 3 decades. So many memories. In my life, I met some influential people. James Bell and Satchel Paige crossed my path during my career. The hesitation pitch. Do you remember that? I could throw the ball in a way the batter barely saw it coming. Perhaps this will ring a bell. I taught Satchel Paige how to throw the hesitation pitch. Allow me to demonstrate. James Bell. He was a young pitching prospect when we met. I gave him his nickname, Cool Papa. I heard that there is a street named after him over in St. Louis. It's near downtown off Jefferson. Sports fans and players call me Big Bill. Has a nice ring to it, huh? I stood well over 6 feet. Check the stats. I was born August 22nd, 1881. I'm a San Antonian. I played ball. I managed teams. The Negro Leagues gave me an opportunity to master my pitching, fielding, and managing skills. I threw 2 no-hitters in the Negro Leagues. In fact, I was the first pitcher in the Negro National League to throw a no-hitter. Baseball has a rich cultural history packed with talent and barrier breakers. I heard that Cool Papa was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1974.
Thanks, Big Bill. Now, Alton, just like St. Louis, had its very own Sportsman's Park. As a matter of fact, we had 2. The first was built in 1886 on the south side of Broadway in a vacant property near the Illinois Glass Works. It was a fantastic stadium. It had a covered grandstand as well as a fenced-in outfield, which was a new concept at the time. Now, we played there for nearly 20 years before the Glassworks finally took over the property. So then we built an even better stadium on the north side of Broadway, where Alton Plaza sits now. See, we played games there until about 1921 because with the end of the Great War over in Europe and coming into the Depression and stuff, baseball got pushed off to the side. In the 40s, the site was redeveloped as a garment factory, which also had an outdoor tinted roller skating rink. And then in 1957, Alton Plaza was developed.
I know Alton, Illinois well. I remember the sports fans. My St. Louis Giants played at Sportsman's Park here in Alton several times. That was a good, solid field on the north side of Broadway from what I recall. In April 1917, we had a game scheduled against the Alton Rookies at Sportsman's Park. The game was called after 6 innings. My pitching gave us an edge. I only allowed 4 hits in a 12-1 victory. My St. Louis Giants also played against the Baseball Club of Havana, Cuba at Sportsman's Park.
Say, Archibald, you mentioned you moved back here after the war. That was the Civil War, right?
Yes, sir.
In your job as a paymaster, you ever come across the name of Abner Doubleday?
Maybe once or twice.
A great Civil War general. Did not invent baseball. Pure fate. Baseball is a game that's evolved over time. Why, when I first got to the majors, a catcher was nothing more than a human backstop. Oh, they stood back of the plate, stooped over, hands on their knees like that, waiting for the pitch. You could say they didn't know squat. I was the one that introduced crouching down behind the plate with my arms extended. Now, in those days, I wore a chest protector underneath the uniform, but nobody wore a mask, and we didn't wear gloves. The advantage, we could catch the ball with the right hand or the left hand. Now, eventually, as leather gloves became more popular, I started wearing one. I wore one on my left hand. Now, I stuffed mine with sponges, rags, and string, anything to absorb the impact. Newspapers said it looked like a small pillow. Now, I use mine to signal to the pitcher whether I want a curveball, fastball, or inside pitch. I was the first catcher to catch for over 100 games in a season, and I played for 10 seasons. First in the American Association, the National Association for such teams like the Ruby Red Legs. And then that Brooklyn team you may have heard of, the Brooklyn Bridegrooms. But my favorite team, that was the St. Louis Browns. Oh, that was a good team. We won the championship in 1885 and 1886, so we had some really good players.
Now, I wasn't a good player, but I was a good umpire. Plus, I guess carrying my gun on my side helped back up my calls and decisions. I remember that first year in that first big exhibition game. See, the St. Louis Brown Stockings had just won their second title against their rivals, the Chicago White Stockings of the American Baseball Association. We won 4 games to 2. Alton, well, we're pretty proud of ourselves, and so we got a hold of the champs and we challenged them to a game here in Alton, and they accepted.
I remember that. That was August of 1885. Sportsman Park was just opened up in Alton. Alton was a bustling town at that time. Real proud of theirs. And they had every good reason. They had a good crowd. So we came, we're a pro team. We thought we'd go easy on them. I think we won 14-2. But I recall they surprised us. They had a solid team.
Other teams that I like to follow through the year was one that was sponsored by the Springman Lumber Company. They called themselves the Springman Splinters. But my favorite was at the end of the year, when the players and stuff that stuck around would divide themselves up for a fundraiser between the Fats and the Leans. You heard me right, the Fats. Now, that very first year for that exhibition game, the Fats had a total weight of their main 9 players, not counting the subs, of just under 2,300 pounds. Leading the way was our 17-year-old first baseman who weighed 307 pounds. The 2 smallest were our third baseman and center fielder, and they weighed a mere 211 pounds. The manager was 260, and Alton's famous one-arm pitcher, Ben Pugh, he weighed 266 pounds.
Would have been more with 2 arms.
Yes. Now, me being a large man, I kind of fit right in. Now, if you would have seen that exhibition game, they came in grand style. See, the Fats, they came in on a wagon pulled by 4 big, beautiful horses. Where the Leans, they came in on a wagonette. The Leans won that game that first year 11-9. Shoot, they even had a tightrope walker for entertainment in between innings. He kept falling off about every other step, but he never got hurt considering the rope was only about 3 feet off the ground.
I don't know much about tightrope walking, but I do know about managing teams. And one of the teams I managed was the Minneapolis Keystones. However, pitching was in my blood. I returned to pitching in 1911 after only 1 season as the manager for the Keystones. Pitching had a grip on me, and I continued to pitch for more than a decade. My 8th grade education did not limit me in pursuing my passions. Playing ball and managing teams enhanced my intellect. The feeling of being on the pitching mound was overwhelming and exciting all at once. My desire for playing ball took me to more than a dozen different teams. The Chicago American Giants was one of them. You don't remember my time with the American Giants? Well, some say I had a temper. A batter allegedly beat out a hit during a game in June 1912. Bad call. I stepped on the umpire's foot because of that bad call. Let's just say I was put out of the park. I also pitched for the Detroit Stars in 1920. Remember the no-hitters? That first no-hitter was on June 6, 1921 against the Cincinnati Cuban Stars. I faced 29 batters, struck out 10. One more thing about that game. I hit a home run. Baseball and I were tethered energies destined to make each other shine.
This is enough chit-chat. It's time to play ball.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Blade Against Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Blade Against Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
To our daily show on RiverBender.com. And now, time to play a game. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Better run, 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 run away. Oh,
Welcome back. 1016 Lacy McDonald. 100 years ago, the Pie-Saw bird painting was dead. Do you like my Halloween contributions here?
I like all of your Halloween contributions.
I mean,
yeah.
I got Saw guys. I got deep, spooky monster voices like this. You can't hear it, but they can.
Hello, you know.
Oh, where you become spooky?
That's me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, all of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we started out with murder last week, so spooky.
And the Pie-Saw bird has a Twilight Zone kind of edge to it.
Right, and there's a lot of mystery and mayhem
And
around it.
And a lot of snootiness.
I was telling CJ that I'm never nervous for the show, and today I am because I want to get the Pie-Saw bird stuff right.
If there was one person, Lacy, it'd be you. One person to get it right.
I feel like I can tell you what's not right more than I can tell you what is right. Like, I can dispel rumors and myths, but I can't tell you exactly what it originally was.
So, was the painting already there?
Okay, so in 1924, I almost said 2024. In 1924, on October 5th, there was a dedication of the first modern version of the Pie-Saw bird painting. So it was painted by Boy Scout and Alton High School student Herbert Furcade on the bluffs at the end of Prospect Street.
A student?
Yeah, he was a high school student.
Really?
Yes.
Was it just him that painted it?
I think so. I read something about his brother like coming up to keep him company while he was working on it. But yeah, he did it himself.
How'd he get up there?
They built a scaffolding.
Oh yeah,
for him.
nothing says safer than that.
Oh right, you would not be able to do that
No,
today.
OSHA's totally giving you the thumbs up on that
Yeah,
job.
there's like a 17-year-old up there just painting the whole thing.
No vest, nothing.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
having fun. He's out of school.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like maybe that's why he wanted to do it.
It just makes you think. Sorry.
No. So he was chosen to do this painting, and it was really cool because there were lots of articles in the Telegraph leading up to when he actually started working on it, because he did a ton of research, not only on the myth and the what it should look like, the different colors, but also on what paints to use so that it would stay on the bluffs correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was really he did a good job trying to figure out how he was going to do this. So it was really cool.
So it was a big event.
It was a very big event. Yes. They even had a steamboat that went out onto the river so they could view it from the river instead of just on the bluff.
Some greasy sales guys hey, 15 cents to watch the painting in progress.
It was 100% that. You were charged to go out on the river to see it from the river. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, there were ads about it in the paper.
That'd be me. That'd totally be me. I'd sell I'd go buy a bunch of fake paintbrushes and fake equipment and go, he touched this. This is 25 cents,
Which would be hard since he would be right there.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he'd be in on the deal if it was me. But so why'd they pick a high school student? Because the area always had prolific artists.
Yes.
It wasn't like we had a dead period.
Well, the Boy Scouts were the ones who really got this happening. So I think that was part of it. I don't know how many other people, I don't know if they had an application process or what, but it said he was chosen. So presumably they considered several different artists, chose him, and then it took several months. I think that he first started on so August 28th is when there was a cartoon in the Telegraph of him up on a swing, actually. This was not what it really looked like because it's just a cartoon. But I think that was the day that it started. Oh, yeah, because it says painting of Paisa bird on bluffs started today. So, yes.
Great job, Sherlock.
Thanks.
No, I got a question, though.
Sure.
Think about this. Now we could type in that prompt and say, can you please create a photo of a high school student painting on a bluff on a swing?
Oh, God, please don't.
That took about 14 hours for that person to probably draw, and it takes us 14 seconds to make that same picture.
Well, and also, this is clearly a cartoon.
As long as it's not for a black party.
Moving on. This is clearly a cartoon, and that would be a real thing. People would be up in arms because it would be a photograph of a high school kid doing something super dangerous.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't be clear that it was art. It would look like that really happened. That's what scares me about AI. We already have a hard time distinguishing fact from fiction sometimes, and if something is a photograph, we're conditioned to think that it's real. And so that's going to be a whole thing we all have to figure out together.
Yes. If there's body parts in places there shouldn't be,
yes.
People doing things that don't really line up with what the photo does.
Right.
That's probably a good indication.
Yes.
Or if somebody looks like they are in a 4K movie or cinematic shot carrying anything, no, that's not real. There was one, it was the saddest dang thing. This girl was in a kayak and she had her dog in her hand, and it was like she looked airbrushed, and the dog wasn't. All these people were like, oh, how can I donate to help her?
Oh, no.
No!
Yeah, that's an issue. There's going to be a lot of fraud and a lot of people that are going to try to help somebody else, and they're really just giving money to
no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to ask you about this. Okay, so this guy looks like an artist. Look, you know what I'm saying? He just has that kind of creative mind look to him, always thinking.
Yeah, well, he was...
Is he pretty prolific afterwards?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I didn't do a lot of research on him afterwards.
He really does. He just has that kind of branding to him,
Yeah, I know that he died mid-century. I want to say 1960s, 1970s, but his brother...
That's it?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Alive. I know, it was sad. His brother was alive much after that, and he still has family in the area. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's even more impressive that he was in high school when he painted this. And this was we did not have a Paisa bird on the bluffs from the early 1800s until 1924. And so the area where it had been originally is where the penitentiary was. And so that stone was quarried, and that's how we lost the Paisa bird. Well, the Paisa originally, the Paisa paintings, not a bird at that time. And then when when Forcade was working on this painting, he used the kind of myth that we all know about with Chief Watoga that was made up by John Russell in 1836.
I want to talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
That's a teaser. But because I want to take a break.
Okay.
Okay. Now I got to ask you.
Okay.
Is Alton the only place that had the Paisa bird?
That's a really tricky question because I think in the way that it is now, that we have expanded it, created it, it is very much an Alton thing.
Right.
But there are depictions of what it might have been originally. It might have been an underwater panther.
I know. When you say that for the first time, it's like amazing.
Right. But there are different American Indian mythologies around these different creatures, and it might have been related
So they
to
all
that.
match the same kind of...
There are a lot of depictions that are similar to what the description from Marquette and Joliet said when they came down the river. So it may be a version of something that was widespread. But that's the part where I can tell you what it isn't, but not necessarily what it is, because I'm not sure about that.
Do you remember that darn kids television show that had the flying like dragon bear? That kind of looked like the pie-saw. Always made me think of the pie-saw bird. Now, what is the pie-saw bird? Is it actually a bird?
Well, okay. This goes back to it didn't have wings originally. The original painting did not have wings. Do you want to know the description of the original painting?
Do I have a breaking news sound effect? The pie-saw bird did not have wings originally.
Right.
I only had air horns.
It wasn't even a bird. Okay, so Marquette and Joliet were traveling down the Mississippi River in 1673, and they discovered two paintings on the side of the cliffs near Alton that were matching.
Okay.
And this is the direct quote from the journal that they kept on this trip. While skirting some rocks, which by their height and length inspired awe, we saw upon one of them two painted monsters, which at first made us afraid, and upon which the boldest savages dare not long rest their eyes. They are as large as a calf. They have horns on their heads like those of a deer, a horrible look, red eyes, a beard like a tiger's, a face somewhat like a man's, a body covered in scales, and so long a tail that it winds all around the body, passing above the head and going back between the legs, ending in a fish's tail. Green, red, and black are the three colors composing the picture. No wings.
See, this is why I chuckled, because you said water panther, and my generation thinks of it as a giant bird.
Right, and there was also a thunderbird that was it might have been a conglomeration, the way that John Russell made up the myth.
Yeah.
He might have taken some stuff from multiple places, but the original paintings did not have wings and were not a bird.
Was there any resemblance of the original painting that Marquette and Juliet's description was? You know, whenever they were like, can you still see like a
Yeah, so they made a drawing at the time. It like got lost in the water somewhere, but then there were several depictions that were made around the same time based on what they described, like the artist Jean-Baptiste Louis Franquelin.
That was pretty impressive.
That he did in 1682 that looked like the pie-saw bird. Like it's in the article, but I can show you. This is what it looks like. So it's right. If you threw some wings on that, you would you would recognize it as the pie-saw bird.
But now, is there any way that and has anyone ever done this where they try to find the original pie-saw bird painting by scanning the bluffs?
Yes, but that rock was likely quarried away. I mean, they know where it was.
Oh, that's what I was always wondering.
Yeah. So where they put it in 1924 is not where it is right now. They put it on what was called Lover's Leap, and then that was quarried. Well, that was taken away when they turned the river road into the river road. So the pie-saw bird has moved up and down the
Hence
bluffs.
the wings.
That's why we needed the wings. Up and down the bluff to several different places during the subsequent years.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's 9:28 and a little bit of change on the 16th day of October. We'll take a quick break. Do I have something oh, no.
What?
I hate that. When all of a sudden you look at the date and you feel like there's something else that you saw on a calendar somewhere and you don't know what it is.
Do you know what it is?
No. I don't even know if I have anything to do. It gives me that sinking feeling, the tenseness. We'll find out after the... Oh, no, we won't. Hold on. I gotta hit the right button after this. Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Happy Halloween from RiverBender.com. Now, back to our daily show.
Making me feel yucky. Welcome back. The weather changed. My sinuses. Sorry, I had the microphone on when I said making me feel yucky. Welcome back, Daily Show 1031. You know, what is your favorite Halloween movie?
Oh gosh, I don't like scary movies. I like more like spooky movies. So
what defines a spooky movie?
Well, okay, I like.
Where were you Saturday at 5 p.m. Interrogation mode. CJ just kicked in.
I was trying to think. Was I watching a spooky movie?
It's like,
I don't
was
remember
CJ peeking in my window?
Now I don't even remember what I was doing on Saturday. That's a good question.
But what is
we went to the drive-in, so it actually would have been the drive-in movie theater. So it would have been. It was a little bit after that, but it would have been a real question. Yeah.
Almost. So what is a spooky movie?
Okay. Like, oh gosh, what is the name of it? With the 3 witches and they.
Hocus Pocus?
Hocus Pocus. Like, that's my level.
Okay, that's fair. Like
movie.
Goosebumps?
No, that's too much for me. But, like, and I like old. Like, I like Alfred Hitchcock. Like, I like that kind of
See, I can't even watch those because it messes with my mind. Some of those Twilight Zones are a little wild.
I can't do the Twilight Zone.
Oh, you can't do those either?
No. I can't do anything that's
like the Beauty's in the Eye of the Beholder episode really freaked me out.
Can't do Twilight Zone. I can only do Hitchcock because it's not, like, supernatural.
Yeah.
Like,
you can do Norman Bates and all that, like the original?
I can do the original, but not current day
Yeah,
stuff.
that's kind of wild when they do like the modernization
I need
of
like
things.
censored versions of things. Like what could get past the censors in like 1940 is the level that I can.
So
I can
I've been
deal with.
tormenting myself because I've been forcing myself this year to get into the seasons. Like I'm
Okay.
like you aren't. I feel like I'm not living life as I should because if I
Mhm.
celebrate these things and get into it, maybe it makes it a little bit better. You got to fake it till you make it. Kind of.
Yeah.
But in a way, hear me out.
Okay.
So I decided I'm going to watch it. We're going to get to the pie saw bird in a second, okay? This is my time. I know someone's
CJ.
like bitching me out right now going, I'm here to learn about them. Just give me 2 more seconds, okay? But but I've decided I'm going to watch all the spooky movies, all the scary movies I can. I have watched all the Conjurings, which is not good for CJ. But there's one called Dream House that's not really a scary movie, but
Okay.
it's one of those thrillers.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to... I'll ruin it for everybody.
Please, I read Wikipedia
The
articles
guy
for scary movies.
the guy has these visions of his like thinks he's is currently living with his family in this
Mhm.
house, but there's some weirdo that keeps stalking and creeping on him. Come to find out, it's him, and he killed his family, and he's
Oh,
reliving the day
God.
every day.
Okay, that's horrifying. I do not want to.
The worst thing I've ever seen in my
Why
life.
don't you just like carve a pumpkin or something?
I'm getting there. Hold on. But I've watched all the Saw movies. I have finished the Saw trilogy. Do you want to play a game? Anyway, and then I've seen all the Halloween movies. But let me tell you something. The new Halloweens are actually good. I like them because sometimes when they remake those horror movies,
Mhm.
not worth it. I'm telling you, the Rob Zombies are okay, but the new ones, A+.
I am too anxious of a person to watch things that would make me anxious in my free time. I like.
You're right. Because I
literally.
stay up way too long afterwards because I got to like tone it down afterwards.
Yeah, you gotta like have a palate
Or
cleanser
like
after that.
the worst for me, I like Misery too, like the Stephen Kings. I've seen
Mhm.
all those now too. I only got a few more Halloween movies to go, like actual scary movies. Doing good. Anyway, what was I talking about? There was something important about this.
Was
There was
it-
a good tie-in.
Pumpkin carving.
Yes, we're getting there. So I've done all of this, and what I think's fascinating, and we've always seen like, I don't know, here's my tie-in.
Okay.
You always see like Halloween movies. I
Mhm.
found it. Sorry. It took a little bit. It maybe was a marathon, but we're here now, okay? And it's the weave, and you go in and you have all these wreaths right around downtown and these Christmas lights. Why don't we do that for Halloween? Halloween's our
that'd be
thing.
super fun.
Like, why don't we just?
Yeah.
And they're the cheapest damn decorations. I mean, honestly, you could probably go into the city warehouse, find some torn up things, spray paint them black or gray, and call them spider webs or you know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this going.
I would love more
Because
Halloween
every Halloween
decorations.
movie, it's always the town is like just this beautiful Halloween utopia. And then it's like, what the hell? We celebrate this better than anybody. And
That's
it's,
true.
it's like our thing. Some
Mhm.
people have different holidays. Alton's Halloween. Let's live it up.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Nacello for all. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be my big campaign platform. We need to decorate for Halloween, you know?
Well, there are people that have run on decorating for Christmas as their entire thing, so you could do that.
That is actually very true. Okay, with that being said, back to the pie saw bird. All I asked was 5 minutes, and I took 6, so call me later. I'm starting to get the emails to go up a little bit more. So let's do this chronologically.
Okay.
So the story of the pie saw bird.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. We have some time. My 10:35 guest canceled. So let's do a step-by-step of just the story.
Okay, so we talked about the Marquette and Joliet first written down date official sighting. So obviously it had been there for quite some time before that. But that, this is a real thing that really existed on the bluffs. So then we get into the created myth, which John Russell, who was a short-lived college professor, made up in 1836. And why this date is so important is because that was a year before Alton became an officially incorporated city, because 1837 is when Alton became a city.
Oh, see, you can't do that to me because I get side questions.
Okay, what's your side question?
Can you
CJ?
guys give me 30 more seconds? So my side question is, how does the city become incorporated back then?
Oh.
Which is another podcast.
That is another podcast. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I know it became incorporated in 1837.
We'll save that for later. Then.
Okay, and it was 1818 was when it was platted. So we had a little bit of time between those two things. So it was growing during that.
The worst city Wi-Fi password, by the way. Just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that needs a little guess. I'm the reason the password's going to change because I just said that on the show. I know for a fact that Jarvis is going to watch that and go, "You're an idiot, CJ," and call me. I'm probably going to lose privileges. I didn't say the password. I just gave a good hint. Anyway.
All right.
It's the guest password, so it's fine. But so back to your sorry.
Okay, no, that's all right.
My 30 seconds is over. I'm muting my microphone.
1836 is when the story came about, and also when the telegraph began. So same year. Forgot that you always do that.
I muted my mic so they couldn't hear.
Okay. All right. So it was first published. The story that he made up was called The Piasaw, an Indian tradition of Illinois, and it was first published in the August 1836 issue of the Family Magazine. Many Illinois newspapers, including the Telegraph, picked it up, and they published it like it was an actual American Indian myth, like that this mythology came from local indigenous peoples that had lived here. And that's the way that Professor Russell put it forward. He said, this is a real thing. And I mean, he was respected enough that people took that seriously and believed him. And so most people know this, but it's the Chief Watauga story. So essentially, the Piasaw bird was real. The Piasaw bird was, flying over and stealing people and eating them. Chief Watauga had 20 of his bravest fighters.
Nom nom nom.
Yeah. Kill it. Like, he used himself as bait. The Piasaw bird came down to snatch him.
Yeah.
They killed the Piasaw bird. The Piasaw bird fell in the river. It was never seen again. It was a very dramatic scene. He made that up completely.
Really?
Yes.
So I know this now because I remember when I was in St. Mary's, I think it was like second grade.
Yeah.
We were learning the myth.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what a myth was. I didn't, look that far into my vocabulary at the time when I'm 7. But I thought the damn thing was going to fly out of that river at any time.
Right. Well, and even if it was shown as a myth, like, there are myths that are based in like oral tradition and stuff. And so it very easily could have been a real myth, like a passed down myth from the local indigenous peoples that lived in this area. But he made it all up. And then he admitted it later. He was like, oh, it's a little bit illustrated. But, and he told, who was it? John D. McAdams, who was an expert in Piasaw bird and local Native American history later, that he had essentially made it up. I think he told his son that he had made it up. But he created this myth and claimed that it was a myth that was real. When I say real, a myth that had come to him from the people that actually lived here, instead of a myth that he himself had made up, maybe based on some things that he had heard or seen, but not, it wasn't just that he wrote it all down. It was that he made it up. Yes. But 1836 is before Alton even existed as a town. And so it has been part of our history for this whole time. And I love the Piasaw bird. So I am glad that it's part of our cultural heritage, but I think it's extremely important to talk about what was really, an American Indian piece of artwork versus what was totally made up by this white guy in 1836 that had no connection to the local communities. So
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So now we're up to fast forward.
Yes. Okay.
1924.
1924.
There's already the painting's gone off the bluff.
The painting has been gone for probably 100 years.
Okay. So out comes the Boy Scouts.
Yes.
And the Boy Scouts say, we want to paint the Piasaw bird.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And then they find, how do they select a student?
I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that more. And that might be something where it's like in the Boy Scout files, but it's not.
That is like a TV show in itself, like the X-Files. Who won the soapbox derby in 2017? A scandal shocked us all.
Look in the Boy Scout files. Yeah, I don't know, because the newspaper articles just said, Herbert Forcade has been selected to paint the Piasa bird, but it was definitely a Boy Scout initiated project.
Okay, so it wasn't like it was a region-wide or like a historical society.
Well, they were the ones that, as far as I know, they were the ones that kind of brought it forward. Like, we should really repaint this on the bluffs. And then a whole bunch of people in the community were part of it. So at the dedication, W.D. Armstrong, who was the president of the Madison County Historical Society, was there, was part of the program. John D. McAdams, who was a local historian, and like the Illinois Senator H.G. Giberson came, the president of the local Council of Boy Scouts, Eben Rogers, Gilson Brown. I threw him in there because everybody, knows Gilson Brown School.
Mm-hmm.
He was there on behalf of the city of Alton. So it wasn't just the Boy Scouts, and they weren't the only ones that provided funding. I think there were some fundraising campaigns to make this happen. But without the Boy Scouts, I seriously doubt that in 1924 this would have happened.
Okay. And now, how long did it take him to paint?
Well, it was started on August 28th, 1924, because this article says painting of Piasa bird on bluffs is started today. And then the dedication was on October 5th. So, and there was a little bit of time in there between when he finished and when the dedication happened. So I would say it took about a month.
That's it?
Well, of the actual painting.
Okay.
Yes.
What's that mean?
Well, he did a lot of planning.
Oh, so it was pretty much just go. At that point, you just got your procedure going.
He just got up there. He knew what he was going to do. He maybe had it gridded out and then just got to work on it.
So how big was his painting?
Ooh.
Because, it doesn't look that big compared to the one we currently have.
That's a good question, like the different sizes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think it was smaller than the one that we have now.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure about that. But
did painting materials differ from back then?
Well,
or from current times, like do you use lead paint?
That's exactly what I was going to say. My first thought was they probably had lead in the paint. I'm not sure, because it also had to be an outdoor paint,
right?
And it had to be something that would work. I'm sure that they cleaned off the surface of the bluff first, but you're dealing with dust and dirt and things falling down.
Exactly.
So I don't know for sure, but I do know that he'd gone to St. Louis to consult with experts in painting before he got started. So this
wow.
is a kid, and he really
you can do anything you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So how long did this painting last for before the wear and tear of the life of the river road or river at the time got to it?
Well, that's a good question, because in lots of these different versions, they did touch-ups. So I don't know if they had to do, how long it took them to have to do a touch-up. But the next version was, so this painting remained there until 1952.
That's a good run.
Yeah.
For a high school senior for almost 30 years, that's a good run.
Right. And then when it was taken out, because they were widening the river road, they painted one further down the cliffs, right away. And then, and I don't know who painted that one. And then the next version was painted in 1963, and that was based on artwork by Ruth Means, who was a very prominent local painter. We've got lots of her work at the library. She was great. And then that stayed there for 20 years. And then from 1983 to 1995, a metal version, which was also based on Ruth Means' artwork, was at Norman's Landing, further down the river road. And then when they decided to do a painted version instead of the metal version, again, that became a piece of artwork at Southwestern High School.
That still shoots fire out.
Yeah, and Sydney told me about that. She said whenever a touchdown is scored, then it breathes fire. And I love that because it adds even more to the Piasa mythology. We added wings 100 years ago. Now we added fire.
In 20 years, it'll do your taxes,
But yeah, I like that. It gave it a new thing to do.
So before we go to the final version of what we see now, who is in charge of the Piasa bird? Who decides, if, let's say tomorrow, half of that rock falls off, God forbid, who's in charge of the commissioning of the piece, or if we even do it again, or the updates to it?
I don't know. I assume
is that a landmarks problem, or is that a historical society? Is that a city tourism?
I assume it's city.
It's interesting.
but I'm not entirely sure.
I'm bringing a great point up. We need to have I'm being serious kind of, because you never know when something like that can happen, and probably a safety net just to make sure that thing's still there. Because, I mean, you can't take away the pie.
I don't think anyone is trying to take away
No,
the
but
pie
you know what I'm
suburb.
saying? But then you don't want to have to wait 2 years to get it repainted either.
Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, it's been so consistent for the last 100 years. And the one that's there now was 1998. And Dave Stevens was the artist. But community members could make donations to the project and then go up there and do a little bit of the painting. So I like that too. It's like we have made this
Mr.
truly
Stevens
ours.
still around the community? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
I haven't met
He
him.
might know who's in charge. of
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Maybe they
honestly,
bring
not
him
being
out to touch
not being
things
funny.
up.
I've just always wondered who's responsible for like the
that's a good
touch-up work
question.
and all of that, and one of those fascinating ones. Mm-hmm. Huh. Well, all I know is we kind of kicked butt today. That was a pretty good deep dive. What'd you write about this week?
Okay, so what's coming out tomorrow is about the Illinois-Michigan football game in 1924, which I just saw a little ad, like a little, not ad, but a little article in the Telegraph that talked about how many people from Alton went to this game. And I was like, oh, okay, that might be fun. And then it turned out to be a really, really, really big deal game. And so the article basically wrote itself. It was really fun.
Do they go up to Michigan?
No, it was in Champaign.
Okay. Wow.
And they were dedicating the stadium. It was Illinois Memorial Stadium. It was also homecoming. So a lot of people were already going to be going there, and then it ended up being like a super important game.
So it is a very important game. I just kind of Googled this, and wow.
Yeah.
And then the attendance is fascinating.
No, it was insane because this article, the Pies Bird article, took me weeks because I would like write some of it.
Can we just hold on. I just got to point something out here. Okay. And granted, I'm on, Wikipedia, which is about as accurate as I am. But I mean, when it comes to history, news, I'm pretty accurate. But look at this. How in the hell are you going to protect yourself in that? That is a pillow, and that is maybe a sleeping bag.
Yes, but here is one of my very, very favorite parts about this research. For the upcoming this October game against Michigan, they recreated those football uniforms.
way!
Yes, and the helmets are actual real helmets, but painted to look like the leather helmets.
That is so
are
cool.
hand painted, and they are amazing.
When's the game coming up?
It's 1 year and 1 day after the original one. So I want to say it's like it's around the 20th. It's coming up. But on the article, I also put a link to the pictures of the present day uniforms that they're going to be wearing. It's so cool.
Cat Daddy's Day. Have you stopped by Cats yet? They got new TVs down there, pizzas and all that stuff going.
No, I've heard good things.
It's good. That's Cat Daddy Day, I think.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see the uniforms not in person, but when they're playing.
I'm sorry. This is where the TVs are so good now. Why are you buying tickets? Unless you're in the first row. And,
tailgating or something?
Well, I mean, who wants to pay to party?
Well, I think most people pay to party because if you go to a bar and buy food and drinks, isn't that paying?
that's kind of, I'm talking admission price, just to get into the party. I never paid a cover.
I only went to stuff when I was a student.
Yeah.
So I've never bought a college football
Because some of those college football you're like 800 feet in the air.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that's a good seat or comfortable.
No,
I'm going to get a ton of people right now that are just getting ready to shoot me. I'm going to walk out of this building, and I'm telling you what, there's going to be things thrown at me. I'm just saying, the TVs are a nice option. Okay. Lacy, this was fun.
Yeah.
And you guys can always stay up to date on our history and learn more by going and seeing Lacy at Hainer Library. And you can learn more by going to HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org. Long break. We'll come back and, we'll wrap up the, what day is it?
17?
After this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver serves up a award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Get paid to go solar. We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Hey, wanted to fill you in. We got about, 2 minutes left. And I got a 2-minute article to give you. Lacy McDonald is just left the show. She's not here anymore. Sorry, had to correct that lower third. Alrighty, here we go. Dan Brandon, Content Director, has the last one for you of this Wednesday. The City of Alton has renewed its municipal electricity aggregation program with Home Field Energy, aiming to shield residents from fluctuating electric supply rates. The new agreement, which will take effect in December, will provide a fixed rate of 0.09054 per kilowatt hour, representing a significant decrease from the current rate. This is promising news of 0.1220 per kilowatt hour charged currently by Constellation New Energy. Let me repeat this. The new fixed rate starting in December of this year in 2 months will be a fixed rate of 0.09054 cents per kilowatt hour, representing that significant decrease which we are currently at with Constellation New Energy. Their fixed rate is 0.1220, a significant savings. The decision was announced in light of ongoing volatility in the energy industry. The new rate, effective through May of 2025 meter read date, is expected to yield monthly savings of over $25 for an account using 800 kilowatt hours. Additionally, the program will transition from the higher summer delivery rates to lower non-summer rates, further enhancing savings for its participants. Alton officials, along with the consultants of Good Energy, opted for a shorter contract duration due to the unpredictable nature of the energy market. Since the aggregation program's inception in 2013, participants have experienced only 7 rate changes compared to 30 changes for the utility rate. This stability is a central feature of the program, which has collectively saved Alton residents nearly $2 million over the years. The City of Alton's municipal aggregation program has seen a robust participation, with 80% of residents in the participating communities opting in. For more information, check out the RiverBender.com article or call City Hall. We're out of time. See you tomorrow. Back with energy. We're in trouble now. I'll see you live at 9 on a Thursday. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.
He once knew, oh yes he did. He said